They laughed at him when he pulled up in that old taxi. Not because the car was bad, but because of how small they thought he was. But this is not just a story. This is a motivational story for anyone who has ever been ignored, overlooked, or treated like they don't matter. And by the end of this story, you will understand why silence can be more powerful than noise. Every single morning, before the city woke up, the taxi driver was already sitting inside his car. The engine was old, the seat was worn out, and the mirror was cracked, but his mind was sharp. He drove through quiet streets, watching shop owners open their doors, watching workers rush to jobs they didn't like, and watching people live lives that looked better than his. Many people entered his taxi without even greeting him. Some talked on the phone about business and money while pretending he didn't exist. Others complained about the fare, as if he had chosen this life just to annoy them. But he never argued. He never explained himself. He simply listened, observed, and learned. Every insult he swallowed became fuel. Every disrespect became motivation. While other drivers complained about life, he studied human behavior, success, habits, and failure. He realized very early that loud people often had empty lives, while quiet people were building something serious. He didn't dream out loud. He didn't post his plans. He didn't explain his goals. He only worked, and he worked in silence. What most people didn't know was that after driving all day, when his body was tired and his hands were shaking from the steering wheel, he didn't go home to sleep like everyone else. He went to a small room, barely bigger than a bathroom, with a table, a chair, and a dim light. Inside that room, he studied, not school books, but life books. He studied business. He studied investment. He studied self-discipline. Some nights, he slept only 2 hours. Some nights, he slept none. People around him thought he was wasting his life driving a taxi. They laughed when they saw him wearing the same clothes every day. They didn't see his notebooks full of plans. They didn't see the quiet research. They didn't see the slow construction of a dangerous mindset. He understood something most people never understand. Your future is created in secret. Success is not built on Instagram. It is built in isolation, in sacrifice, and in pain. While others were comfortable, he was addicted to growth. The turning point came one evening when a group of men entered his taxi. They were dressed in expensive clothes, laughing loudly, talking about successful people and mocking hardworking men. One of them looked at the taxi driver and said, "If I worked this job, I would be ashamed of myself." The taxi driver said nothing, but inside him, something shifted. It wasn't anger. It wasn't shame. It was clarity. He realized that people only respect results, not effort. From that day, he stopped caring about being understood. He started caring about being dangerous with his discipline. He saved money aggressively. He cut off friends who laughed at his dreams. He reduced his lifestyle. He stopped buying things to impress people who would never matter. He treated every day like a mission. Every small action became strategy. Every sacrifice became a brick in the future empire he was quietly building. Years later, the same city, the same streets, the same taxi park. But this time, the taxi driver wasn't sitting behind a steering wheel. He was sitting inside an office. He owned a transportation company. Not one taxi, dozens of them. The same men who once laughed now worked for people like him. Nobody announced his success. Nobody clapped at the beginning of his journey. But his results spoke in a language nobody could ignore. he understood a final truth. Life does not reward those who complain. It rewards those who build quietly, suffer privately, and rise unexpectedly. And this is the lesson for you. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need applause to keep going. You just need consistency, silence, and the courage to keep moving forward when nobody believes in you.